everyone, and welcome to Dramatic Knits. My name is Steve, also known as Dramatic Knits, and today is Sunday, April 4th, 2021. This is episode 373. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for checking me out one more episode, and if you're new, I hope you enjoy what you see today and you'll come back in the future. So, I hope that you are having fabulous weather like we are here. We have our windows open and the cross breeze is beautiful. I've got the fan on low and I mowed the yard for the first time this year, just the front yard. But then I was nice and I mowed the lady on the corner's lot because she is older and asked me to do just the front part, but I did it all because I know she really loves to take care of her yard, and if I only did a little bit of it, it would look good. So I'm freshly showered and organized to record, and I'm sitting here with you, and I am so happy to be doing so. And once I'm done here, I'm gonna take my Sunday afternoon nap, which is a routine anymore because Sundays are our day off for Andy and myself. And we really enjoy doing something around the house, but then mostly crafting, relaxing, and enjoying each other's company. So he is enjoying some lemon bundt cake that he made for our Easter dinner, which we celebrated last evening with our family. And so he's enjoying that as a mid-afternoon snack and watching some Netflix, and I'm over in the other room recording. So to those of you who celebrate, happy Easter. To those of you who don't, happy Sunday. And thanks for joining me. We celebrated yesterday evening because my sister was in town due to work because she works for us. And so she was in town because the store was open. So we just had dinner after work yesterday rather than making her drive all the way out here to have dinner and just go home. So it's kind of nice because now we just get to relax all day. So anyway, I hope that you have been well these past 2 weeks. It's only been 2 weeks, but I do have a finished object. Ta-da! And so I'm sitting down to record with you once again, and I thank you again so much for tuning in and checking out what I have to show you today. So the past 2 weeks myself has just been kind of work, and things have been picking up at work, which is really good. Not necessarily foot traffic in the studio, which has been decent, but a lot of wholesale orders are coming in as people are placing their spring orders to make sure that their stores are stocked in the spring months before we go into summer and things like that. So a lot of orders coming in, which means we have a lot of drive and purpose behind what we're dyeing now, so that's good. And not as much new stuff coming in, but always new things because I like to buy. So anyway, yeah, I can't think of anything really important that has happened in the last 2 weeks other than I got my first COVID vaccination. So that has been good. I feel like I'm really white, so I'm gonna try to, there we go. It's a little bit better. I'm not so blown out. I got my first COVID vaccination, which was a blessing. I did not know when I was going to get my vaccination because, I mean, where do you really look? How do you know where to, you got to go looking for it to find it. And so I ended up logging onto our local Walgreens. They had some available, and because I'm a type 2 diabetic, I met my state's guidelines for health conditions, so I go in on the 19th to get my second vaccination, which is great. I got the Pfizer, and I'm super excited because I'm going to be fully vaccinated when we go to our go on our Cancun trip here at the end of the month. So Andy is scheduled to get his first one here in the middle of the month, and he will get his second one once we return from our trip. So that's been the biggest highlight of the last 2 weeks. Nothing else really going on. I hope that if you're able to and you wish to, that you can easily gain access to the vaccine so that we can start the process of moving forward and moving on. And I know here in Illinois, April 12th is the day that it opens up to everybody over 16 and older. So if you're in Illinois, go on, you can schedule yourself now and get all that going. So you can either look to your county's health department, which is how we had to sign Andy up, or you can look at like Walgreens or something like that and get information from there. So that's how I ended up following and staying in tune with what's going on. I just followed my county's health department on Facebook, and they kept us updated. So anyway, let's get to what's been going on in the world of my crafting. So first off, let's talk about what's taking a bow. I have here my finished Happenings wrap. This is designed by Laura Tabbitt. It was designed using Leading Men Fiber Arts Soliloquy. However, I only used one skein of Soliloquy, which was the darkest color here, which is Vengeance, and then I used 5 colors of our Spotlight base, which is an 80% superwash Blueface Leicester wool and a 20% nylon, because you didn't need the full yardage of all the Soliloquy bases. So the other colorways that are represented in here are Sandcastle, Can't Quit You, Grapes of Wrath, Bend and Snap, and Look on the Bright Side. I couldn't remember all of them. I've sewn on, this calls for 25 buttons so that there are buttonholes incorporated throughout the design so that you can style it in a bunch of ways. I'm just wearing it as like a big neck cowl scarf thing right now, so it's not too massive. I have sewn on 9 of the 25 buttons. The rest will come, don't worry, but I'm considering it done. It's been blocked. I wove in my ends while I knit and trimmed them after I blocked them, and I couldn't be happier. So I will show it to you in all of its glory. I will not get it back to being styled the way that it was, but here we are. And so what's really neat about this design, and just so you can see how wide it is a schlanket, most definitely. What's really neat about this design is that you use dye. I used an app on my phone. You can use real dye, but you have 6 different patterns and 6 different colors, and you roll the dice to choose your next pattern and color, and you are always taking color A from one section and it becomes color B in the next section, so you're kind of fading your colors in and out, and you're using a variety of ribbed stitches, essentially, to create the texture. So the nice thing is, we'll do kits for this eventually, not quite yet. We haven't been able to do the kits yet. We're still waiting to sell out of some of our older kits to make new ones. Even if you buy the same color palette, you're not gonna end up with the same wrap as I have, because yours is gonna be determined by chance. Now, I didn't completely leave it up to chance. I tried to give at least 3 sections without using the same pattern and or color to vary that up. But yeah, I'm super happy with it, and I can't wait to kind of get it all up in the shop and showcase it as a shop sample, which is what it was intended for. So there we go. Look at that. I even tried to wear a shirt that would somewhat kind of coordinate with the wrap. All right, so that's what I finished. That was knit using a size 3 and 4 US, which is a 3.25 and a 3.5 millimeter needle. And let's talk about what's performing. What have I been working on? I finished nothing else, but I have been continuously crafting on other things. So first up is my colorful linen stitch blanket. This is a crocheted scrap blanket that I'm using fingering weight held double to make a DK weight, and I am marling them. So I am holding each color for 2 rows, but I am changing colors every other row, so that color A becomes color B, so on and so forth. So again, not much work done on this, but every stitch counts, right? All right, so where's my little dicky-doo? So I've only added maybe 5 rows. Yeah, I think about 5 rows since we've last seen it, but I am just randomly grabbing from my scraps. I am magic knotting when I change my rows. There's the bottom. So it is probably up to my mid-thigh if it's on the bottom of the ground right now, so quite a quite a ways to go, but it is eating up the yarn, and I am enjoying it. I am using a size H or 8 hook, and again, just using scraps or mini skeins that I've collected throughout the years of attending festivals and shows. My next project is the Fade into Advent. This is by Lisa K. Ross, and I am using Suburban Stitcher mini skeins in her 2020 Advent set in the Neutrals collection. So last time I showed you, I was done with the... Was I done with the second half? Or maybe I was just working on a corner? I don't know. I have a progress keeper. I've been trying to be good with that since I'm not recording on a fully regular basis, but I do know that I'm done with 7 of the colors, completely done with 7 of the 24 colors. My yarns are kind of a hot mess because I just throw everything in my bag. Okay, so I was not done. Here's where I was last time, right there. Probably finishing up the second triangle, whichever one that was. So it starts here in the center with a blue diamond motif, or blue in my case, and then you work 1/2. You can see Diane's beautiful fade, and then you finish out each corner, and then you go back and you do it all again. So I am really, well, I'm in the middle of a row. That explains it. Am I in the middle of a row? I don't know what's going on. I feel like I'm not in the middle of the row. Okay, good, because I just pulled my needle out, so it's good that I wasn't in the middle of the row. But here's where we're at with the second side. So that's going, this is being knit on a size 6 US, which is a 4mm needle, and it's gonna be a biggin, another biggin, when it's done. Hence why I wasn't making progress for the longest time. Oh, and I forgot to bring over my yarn to show you for my upcoming project that Andy dyed. It's all right, I'll show it to you next time. But I'll tell you about it here in a minute. I'd say this bag by Bags by Awesome Granny, which I may have bought another one, is pretty stuffed. I put all the minis in there so they're all with me. But yeah. All right, next up is going to be my Beachcomber socks. I tend to always have a pair of self-striping socks on the needles anymore, which somewhat justified my reasoning for buying a bunch of self-striping over the past 2 weeks. Again, you'll see that, but I am making progress on things. So here's my first sock, which is completely done. I was there on the foot, if you can see the little stitch markers. So I finished out the foot and the toe. I added my afterthought heel, which I did end a few rows early, so I'm gonna see how that fits on my heel. I didn't immediately try it on. I also have some sort of slip stitch back here just to show you we're not all perfect. I think I might have 2. I don't know what happened there, but I made sure it's not a drop stitch, and that's just a fuzzy, so I don't know. Anyway, I did cast on the second sock yesterday, and I got through the ribbing and a few rounds of the sock. I did not worry about matching up my colors because I really don't care. They're pretty on my feet, and I don't need them to be matching. I'm not that type A about them anymore. So I am using Leading Men Fiber Arts Mini Skein and Poseidon for the cuff, heel, and toe, and then Fiber Nymph Dye Works Bounce Base, which is her 80/20 Superwash Merino Nylon in the Beachcomber colorway, and I'm knitting these on 2 circular needles on a size 1 2.25mm needle. And I believe these ones are my Hayas. I use a variety of different needles. I have preferences and thoughts about all of them, but I'm not a needleist. I'll just pretty much use whatever. I do not care for the carbons. That's the one I don't really care for. Last but not least, I did cast on a new project since I finished this as a shop sample. I cast on a new project using Leading Men Fiber Arts, and I'm using 2 skeins of our Dramaturg DK weight, which one is Spiced Apple Cider. This was a new color I think about 1.5 years ago. And the other one is called Sand Dollar. This is our new colorway of the month. I'll show you more of this later. These are both DK, and then I'm holding the Sand Dollar with Sand Dollar on our mohair silk, which is 459 yards to 50 grams. It is 72% kid silk mohair and 28% silk. And I cast on for the Tartan Toque and Tube by Tracy Miller. You may know her of Grocery Girls podcast and all the other things that they do now. And I thought this was a fun, easy, quick knit to showcase our mohair using mosaic knitting. So this is all done with slip stitches. And this is the hat. I am almost done with the third repeat, and then I start decreasing. But I thought these were a good contrast. I had the spiced apple cider balled up for a different project that I decided not to do. So I thought these would have a good contrast. They both are subtly speckled. So again, not having to use semi-solids for everything, especially in your mosaic and your color work knitting. And so there will be a matching cowl where the colors will be inversed. So the Sand Dollar will be at the ribbing at the top and bottom of the cowl, and then the tartan-esque pattern will be done with the spiced apple cider. So currently I think it's on a 4 and 6 or 3 and 4. I can't remember. Whatever the pattern calls for is what I used. All right, so that's what I've been working on in terms of crochet and knitting over the past 2 weeks. It's been enjoyable. I've been following my rotation, and then this morning I decided, well, there's a lot of different floss tubers that I watch, which is cross stitch, which I'll show you in a minute, YouTube channels. And a lot of them will do different things for a month because they have a lot of projects compared to knitting. I mean, a lot of them have... Some have 60, 70 projects going. But anyway, they'll use an app in particular is called Tiny Decisions, or you can use like a random spinny wheel app. But I put all my different crafts and projects into that, and I spun today, and it was like, do this. So I was like, okay, I'll work on that for a little bit, and then I'll spin again here after recording. So we'll see what progress is made when I check in with you again. Let's move into in rehearsal. What am I going to be casting on? Once the Tartan Toque and Tube is done, which shouldn't be too far away, Andy has actually requested that I knit him a sweater. He really likes the So Basic sweater by Macramed, which I just finished last year. I knit ours out of our soliloquy base in the Don't Fear the Reaper colorway. However, he over-dyed our Yarnakuchen colorway with black, and it's very envy-ish, like our envy color, but subtly different. I have it up on the rack over there, but I don't want to have to get up and knock this all over. So I will be casting on another one of these for Andy here soon. So I've reprinted out the pattern, and yeah, I will hope that he will enjoy that. So that's coming down the pipeline. Quick sip of pop. All right, spinning. I am attached to the wheel with my whole braid. I am spinning here. You can see it's green going into black. Black is mostly on the wheel, but I am spinning this literally straight from the braid because this is a gradient from fiber optic yarns. You can see I tried to untie from this end, but I was just continually, it wasn't pulling like a crochet chain. So I am going to 3-ply this or chain ply it to keep the gradient. So I am just spinning straight from the braid. This is Fiber Optics, 80% merino, 20% silk in the Blackbird gradient colorway that I've had in my stash for years. So it's good that it is being spun up. Let's talk about cross stitch. So let's move into the scene shop. That's where I talk about my other crafts. I am working on 2 different cross-stitch projects currently, and I bought a new Stashquisition to help me with cross-stitch. I might have also kitted up a whole nother project that won't be coming for a while, but the one you've seen me working on is a Heaven and Earth design called One for Sorrow, artwork by Stephanie Law. And this is a full coverage piece that I'm stitching on 25 count easy count fabric, and I'm half stitching it because I'm doing 2/1 half stitch. So this is going to be a beautiful magpie on top of a piece of stone. 2/3 of the project is stone. I have still not quite hit 20% on the project, but I am still working on it diligently. So it is going, and yeah, so there's the progress since you've seen it last. Not much. I've only maybe sat down with it 2 or 3 times, but I did make a little more progress on my new cross-stitch project, which is the Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I am stitching this on, I'm stitching it in a regular plastic hoop, and I'm stitching it with 2 shades of blue DMC, color 370 and color 931. You can see my plastic hoop, you can see my pattern back there. Not much done, seeing as we just got page 4 and this is page 1. You get 1 page every month. This is being stitched 2/2 on, where's the little tag for the fabric? Eventually I'll learn it, but 32 count Tyco Belfast linen from Picture This Plus. This is a 26 by 35 count, or 35 inch piece. It is going to be big. Now, whether I'm going to use the whole piece, I don't know, but I did measure in about 3 inches in because as you will learn if you start cross stitching, they do recommend a minimum of 3 inches to all sides in order to make for easy fabric, easy framing. And you can see there I'm all wrinkled, but that'll iron right out. So I did realize a mistake yesterday, and I am not pulling it out because it is its own motif. I just need to make sure that I count in the right area, but I am off right here. It is supposed to be over, and I am gonna say it's okay because I am. So that's the progress that I've made over the past 2 weeks. And man, this 32 count fabric, I'm like, okay, I'm only 35, but man, those stitches are small. I did go to the eye doctor. Andy and I did go to the eye doctor. We went to a new one on our town square. Well, new to us. It was a very nice place. It's in one of the old buildings like we are. And the doctor was nice. The ladies there helping were really nice, but we had to check our vision, and we ordered glasses online, but I have to go back for a contact lens fitting because they won't give me a prescription without the fitting, and I would like to have contacts for when we go to Mexico so that I don't have to worry about constantly switching between my glasses and sunglasses, especially when we're on the beach. So anyway, seeing those stitches were very small, and the new project that I haven't gotten anything in for is on a 40 count because I was trying to find 20 count, which if you're new to cross stitch, if you're doing something like on 40 count, most of the time you're taking your threads and going over 2 stitches rather than just 1 stitch in the fabric. But if you have that, you can go over 1 stitch and it'll still be over the same, there'll be the same size piece. So 20 count Aida would be the same as a 40 count over 2. But I could not find, I really wanted a hand-dyed piece of fabric and I couldn't find 20 count hand-dyed Aida fabric that I was in what I was looking for the piece. So yeah, that involved me buying a new tool. So I'm going to take this off only because I'm not actually too warm. It's just, I'm afraid every time I bend over, it's going to fall off. And that literally is weight off my shoulders. Excuse me. And last but not least, I have done some work on my Fox latch hook. This is a kit from Hirschner's, and it is Fox in the Moonlight, or Moonlit Fox. And I'm working it from the bottom up. These are all acrylic fibers, which are shedding like the dickens. Every time I come back to it, I see a lot of pilling happening, and I'm just kind of pulling him off. But you can see there I've got a lot of his tail going, and he's sitting, and there's autumnal leaves all around him and whatnot. So that's going slowly but surely. So I will leave that over there. And yeah, that's what's been going on in the spotlight, what I've been doing in the otherworldly crafts. Let's move into, that's what's been going on in the scene shop. Let's go into the spotlight. What have I been watching and reading? I have been sitting down with the audiobook I've had on my phone for a while, but I'm not done with it yet, so I won't review it. So I have been doing a little bit of listening/reading, but I'm here to talk to you about 3 different shows that Andy and I have finished. The first one he did not watch with me, but that is called Lovecraft Country. It was put out on HBO Max, and it is a sci-fi take. If you were to take maybe X-Files set in the Jim Crow South, even though it's not necessarily in the South, it takes place in Chicago and Ohio and some in the South. But it's kind of, it's out there, but it is really good. So I thought it did an excellent job of talking about racial inequality, but yet still having a very interesting and sci-fi and kind of spooky and monsters and love, and there were so many elements to it. I guess it followed a book called Lovecraft Country, but I hear there are talks of hopefully getting a season 2, but they would then be moving past the books, and several of the characters would not be returning due to circumstances. So we'll see. You know, if they can do it well, I applaud them to move on. If they can't, don't just do it because you can. So Andy and I also finished Skin Wars Season 2. This was our dinner watching show. Unfortunately, Netflix has pulled the Skin Wars series from Netflix, so we weren't able to watch Season 3, but we finished on the last day possible. We watched 2 episodes and wrapped up Season 2. I was a little disappointed because the top 2 did not win in my mind. Neither one of them won. But it was interesting to see, and we tend to like watching reality competition TV at dinner. It's lighthearted. It's not much they have to think about, but it's engaging. So, and last but not least, we watched the documentary on, I want to say it was HBO. It's called The Lady in the Dale, and this is about a woman named Elizabeth Carmichael in the 1970s. Well, it goes back to the 1950s and 60s, where he was known as Jerry Dean Michael, and was arrested for money laundering and money fraud, and went on the run with his family and small children, and kind of escaped being caught for a number of years. And while they were on the run, he realized that and came to acceptance that he was a transsexual, and went through the changes of becoming a woman, and started the medical process of becoming a woman. And in 1975, she was working for a company at the time, and kind of an entrepreneur company, and came across the designs for a 3-wheeled car called the Dale, and she decided that she was going to make the next best car, and then make the next best car company, the 20th Century Motor Company, and that she was going to take on all the big car companies in a small amount of time. Well, the documentary goes into kind of the shortcuts that were taken and the possible targeting that happened on her company because of she was a woman and because she was taking on the larger corporations. And then, of course, as things started to tumble in the company, things were eventually realized and released that she was transgendered, and how she was masquerading as a female, which is not true, in order to evade being her felony charges. And it does go through the entirety of her life. I thought it was actually really interesting. Andy wanted to watch it, and it does get a little long towards the end. There's 4 episodes, but a very interesting watch if you are up for that. All right, let's move into stash enhancement because I've been a bad boy. But what is it? What are you going to do about it, huh? Going to come at me? No, you enjoy it. Andy's not so much enjoying it, but he rolls his eyes and lives with me and loves me for who I am. So I might have caught a lollipop yarn update. Have I knit any of my lollipop yarn yet? No. But Joan is kind of a mastermind behind self-striping yarn, and so I bought 2 lollipops. Now, Joan does hand wind her yarns, and I got both of them on the quintessential base, which is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 410 grams to 100, or 410 yards to 100 grams, plus a 25 gram mini, which is very generous, 102 yards. And this is in the colorway Know It All. It is 5 rows each of bossy, smarty pants, cocky, smug, confident, fearless, hotshot, and brash. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 striper. This is 8 stripe colorway. I open the bag. Here's the coordinating color. It is a dark charcoal gray. And these do have some pinks and oranges and things in them, but it's very a muted rainbow for me. I thought this was fun, so I went with it. And of course it does match the gray in there. So this is the Know It All colorway that I got. I will enjoy that someday. It'll eventually end up on the needles. Everything will. All my yarn behind me will eventually end up on the needles. Or being donated. But it's going to end up on the needles. All right, next up, I got the wonky colorway. This is, again, on the quintessential base. This is 8 rows of cockeyed, wobbly, lopsided, all surrounded by 5 rows of askew. And this is in a mini-me of wobbly, which is the blue. So let me untie this to show you the big reveal. So there's the wobbly colorway. Nice peacock blue. And if I'm not mistaken, these kind of fade, these stripes. Because you see how you have like blue and purple and green and yellow and orange and pink? I think these ones kind of do gradations in the stripes. So those are my 2 lollipops that I got. But no, there's more. So I was watching The Bearded Pearl, which is really taken off. Congratulations to Caleb and Justin for putting on an awesome podcast. But they love Woolens and Nosh, which she wrote the most lovely letter to me in my package about how we had met at Rhinebeck, and she asked for business advice, and she said Andy and I were a pleasure to meet. So I really touched me, but they're always talking about Woolens and Nosh, so I clicked on the link and was shopping, and I was like, oh, I like that. So I picked up a skein of her 90% superwash Targhee, 10% nylon, 411 yards to 100 grams, and then I also got a 20 gram mini. This is in the colorway Percolated, and it is got like a rusty red, a brown, tan, blue, and then like a golden ochre, and then it's got that really dark chocolate brown heel. So plus it's on the Targhee base, which I usually only pick up Targhee from Knit Spin Farm, which I was good. I did not buy more Knit Spin Farm. So but this was a new dyer to me. Woolens and Nosh, definitely check her out. She's kind of like the new up-and-comer in the self-striping world. I'm liking what I'm seeing. And then, last but not least, on yarn, my girl at Fibernymph, Lisa, she is celebrating this month her 10-year business anniversary, which I remember she was one of the first podcasts I watched. She was one of the first hand-dyed self-striping yarns I bought. So I wanted to celebrate and buy a skein of her special 10-year anniversary colorway. They are both 5 stripers, but she had a bright, which was a little too bright for me, and then she had a muted color. So I got her Mountain Tweed BFL, which is 85% superwash BFL, 15% nylon NEP, 438 yards. I got her 10 years of stripes in color, muted colorway, and it is a 5-color striper. So it's like overwashed all in that gray. You can see the tweed there, but it has like a very soft browny pink, purple, green, blue, and orange. So I can't wait to see how that nets up. And it's on tweed, which I don't have a lot of. So there's that. So I got that, and then I also made an Amazon purchase to help me in the world of cross stitch. Now, another reason why I need contacts is because I worked with them last night. They work over my glasses. However, they are not the most comfortable thing with glasses on. I will tell you that. But I picked up for like $14.99. I don't know, you can look up magnifying glasses, but these are rechargeable LED eyeglasses, bracket, headband, interchangeable magnifier. Yeah. But what's really cool about this is they are cordless. They are rechargeable. There are 2 brightnesses on the LED lights, and there are 5 different magnifying glasses that you can switch out. Plus, there is a strap cord in the back that I am not showing you because I don't need it, to kind of strap it to your head. This is great for miniatures. It is great for magnifying, if you're knitting with really dark yarn or, lace weight, or if you do cross stitch, embroidery, that kind of stuff. And these were really helping, especially the lights really were helping see my fabric. But don't laugh, here we go. These sit, last night, where was I sitting? I'm kind of right here. And then I've got my little magnifying glasses. Now I'll point this down a little bit. There's a button here. So you can see 2 brightnesses, off, 1, 2, down. But it does rest against your forehead, and it can sit behind your ears or over your glasses like this. Yeah. I have these on, I think, 2 or 2.5, or 2, I think. The 3.5 magnifying, I have to get things really close to come into focus. So I like that they have a variety of different magnifiers so that you can find what's working best for you with your project. You can also tilt the light into a variety of different positions. You can also move, as I say that, you can also move the light by itself, and you can scoot back the glass part to where you need it to be the most comfortable. So, like I said, I don't think this is bad for $15 to help me see my cross stitch a little bit better. I kind of feel like a stormtrooper princess. I don't know. But it was a game changer for my cross stitching, because if I want to do it long term, I need to not ruin my eyes even more. So those are the glasses. I will try to find them on Amazon and link to them in the show notes, which you can find all show notes at dramaticknits.com. And yeah. All right, let's move into the giveaway for this episode. This episode, we are going to be giving away 3 skeins of You So Sporty. These are 50-gram skeins of sport weight 100% merino superwash. These 2 are in the color 45, and this one is in the color 78. There is actually a pattern, very short pattern, on the ball band for a scarf that uses 3 balls in 3 different colors. If you just went green, blue, green, you could make that scarf yourself, so you would already have a project plan for it. So if you would like to be eligible to win these 3 skeins, all you have to do is go to the Dramatic Knits video podcast group on Ravelry. I do understand Ravelry is not optimistic for everybody or optimum for everybody, but it is the easiest for me to be able to do these giveaways. And so I've got to do what's easy for me, since, this is a free podcast. I'm not being sponsored by anybody. There's no Patreon or anything like that. So head on over to the Ravelry group. There will be a thread up by the time I publish this. And you must be a member of that group to be eligible to win. Please only post once, and you must enter the prompt for that thread. This episode's prompt is, what's the best thing you could tell someone to cheer them up when they are feeling down? So last time we talked about compliments, so this time we're going to switch it, and we're going to talk about what is the best compliment, or what's the best thing you could tell somebody when they're feeling down. So, we need to turn those dreary doldrums of the cold, dark weather, depression type days, and cheer those people up and be like, hey, here's a good compliment. Here's a smile for you. Go enjoy, we need to go outside and start enjoying the weather as everyone's, getting vaccinated. We can start seeing people again soon, hopefully, and being able to congregate a bit more. So please answer that prompt, be a member of the group. And when I record again, I will lock the thread and use a random number generator to pull for a winner. All right, moving into a round of applause. We did pull a winner for last episode's giveaway, which was for 2 skeins of Nitpicks Wool of the Andes in, cherry blossom and red. And I randomly drew a winner, and the winner was number 6, Sparky136. That is Patsy from Alabama, so congratulations, Patsy. The prompt last episode was, what was the best compliment you've received? And Patsy said, my aunt told me that I cook like my granny. The best compliment that anyone could give me. I loved my granny. So, Patsy, I'm so happy that you got that compliment, and congratulations on winning. If you would please send me a direct message on Ravelry, Dramatic Knits over there, and let me know your first and last name, mailing address, and an email address so you can get tracking when this ships to you. I will send this out to you as soon as possible. So congratulations to Patsy, and thank you everyone who shared their best compliments with us in that thread. All right, let's move into center stage. All things Leading Men Fiber Arts. So let me bring over my LMFA bag. This is a prototype bag that we got from I think pens.com. They set us promotional. We bought pens from them once, and they give us promotional materials all the time. Half of it's outdated information, like our old website, or like that's our old logo. We still use that in some places, but we've moved to our new shop logo since we've got our new signage on our building. First up, let's talk about our new colorway of the month, which is called Sand Dollar. This is a softly speckled, I'm sorry, I'm having itchy nose syndrome going on. This is called Sand Dollar. Oh my God, this nose is making me itch. Sand Dollar. You can still see our logo there on the tags. We have not reprinted ball bands. We may switch the logo for our new one when we switch. This one's on our box office base, which is our worsted weight. It is 218 yards of a superwash merino. And it is just a softly speckled sand colorway on the natural background. So here's a swatch knit flat on worsted on a size 7. And we do also sell hat sets and sock sets. So you can choose between our Dramaturg DK or our box office worsted hat set. And the hat set does not come with a pattern. It's just a set for a hat. You can knit any hat you want. But you get a skein either of the DK or the worsted. And this month's pom-pom is the oyster color. We get our pom-poms handmade from Gypsy Dreamer Crochet out of Georgia, I believe. And we only carry the 6-inch large pom-poms that she makes, but she does such an amazing job. I thought this matched very well. So if you get order the hat set, you will get a pom-pom. These ones are on long strings you can tie onto your hat. And then we also do classic and shorty sock sets. You can either choose a full skein or a 50-gram skein of our Showstopper base, and in the colorway of the month. And then you get a coordinated mini skein, 20-gram mini skein. This month I paired it with Poseidon because I thought it needed just a subtle pop of color, and I liked Sand Dollar, Poseidon, the sea. So this is the sock set combo. And then we also have pre-orders up on every one of our yarn bases. We do not have monologue this month. Because of the yak, the speckles would not show on this with this light color speckling. But we also have project bag pre-orders from the Silver Shed USA in knit fabric and a beauty shop fabric. So you can pre-order those. And let's move into some new items in the shop. We did get an order from the sisters at Thread and Maple. They are based out of Canada. I had heard about them on the Knit Girls podcast, and they had donated some items to them. And so I reached out to inquire about wholesaling from them, and they do amazing work. Amazing work. Their turnaround was pretty quick for us. Some of their products are a bit pricey, but they are investment pieces on things that are going to last you. So the first one I'm going to show you is a bit pricey, but I thought this was just amazing. We've sold one of them already, but I have, I think I sold the whiskey and cream, but I know I have black and green. I have wine, and I forget what's on the inside of wine. And then this one is chocolate leather, so it has a little tag to show you what color leather this product is. I'll show you some other things in the future we got from them. We got stitch marker sets, we've got scissors and scissor cases, stitch marker cases. We got cork project bags, which sold out, but we also have cork notebooks. But this is the Notions clutch. This is the one's in chocolate. And you can see their logo there, Thread and Maple. And this is all hand done by the sisters. This is again in the chocolate. Comes with a zipper pouch in the back for storing some notions. It does have a snap on the front. And these notions clutches I bought are fully equipped with all the notions you can get in them. So right here in the front, you are going to see a little buffer pad. So as your leather ages, you can try to buff out any scrapes or scratches that may happen to your leather piece. Right here is a snap to hold a pair of circular needles. You also get, this is magnetic on this side. You also get a set of light bulb stitch markers in a nice little case, and they magnetize right on there. You have a pair of the scissors we carry in their own little sheath, again, also magnetized. So even if you don't, well, at least I didn't go in my toe. Don't mind my bald head. Even if you have this down and you don't put it on there, it'll still magnetize to the case. So it shouldn't really go anywhere. Trying to do this backwards is interesting. And then in here, you have one of their signature Thread and Maple made with Canadian maple tape measures. And that has its own nice little pocket. You also have another zippered pouch down here. And then you have a, what's the word? Oh my goodness. It's not an embroidery needle, a tapestry needle for weaving in your ends. And there also are open pockets here and here, so you can stick your pattern or anything else back there. But this is the Notions clutch as it is sold on our website, and this runs you $175. Okay, it is all handmade leather products plus the Notions, magnetized, an extremely good heirloom piece, I feel. But then you can also add on, we have in each color, a stitch case. So this is a needle stitch case. For like your interchangeable needles, you can put the needles in the front. You can also store the cords. It's got a nice flap. And what's really nice about this is you can then take excess needles, okay, and you slide it right in. Okay, now mine's in plastic, so it's not wanting to go in that easily. But actually, I think it goes on the front. There you go, it goes on the front side. So you can see you slide your needles right in there, Close this up. Your whole project is ready to go. Any notions you might need to finish said project, and you are good to go. So like I said, the whole notions clutch, including the 5 tools, is $175. The needle insert is $37. So good birthday gift, anniversary gift, holiday gift, I love you gift, I love myself gift. I do get quite a few I love you gifts from Andy. We don't really do like giving gifts on holidays or anymore, or birthdays. I shouldn't say that. He got me a Valentine's skein of yarn, but I'm really good at I love myself gifts. Sometimes I'm good at his gifts, but not really. Let's be honest. All right. And these come, the Notions clutches do come in their own drawstring bag as well. If I can open it. All right, I will get that taken care of in a minute. Also new, what's next? Ooh, we got a new set of new scents of candles from Wax and Wool. We got in her new spring line, which is the white label. Some of these online are in clear jars because she was not able to get the amber jars for a while. So the pictures are in clear jars. These are all, at least the new scents are in amber jars. The last shipment we got from her are in clear jars. This one is Spring Clean. I don't have the listing online, but in front of me, but I loved all the new spring scents. There's also Sweetgrass and Sunrise. There was another one. Mr. Blue Sky is another one, and then there's a fourth one I can't remember, but those are all up on the website now. Love Wax and Wool. They do amazing candles. We've got a huge array of candles currently in the shop, so check that out. Also, next up, let's talk about Katrinkle's Stitch Markers of the Month. So we do offer these to our Mini Skein Club subscribers to add these on, but we also do get a few sets for the store. Each month, Katrinkle's does a mystery set of stitch markers, and this month's set is April Showers. So you can see there you've got a thunder cloud and lightning. You got a dark cloud, rainy cloud. You have April Showers, Bring May Flowers. You have an umbrella. You have a cloud with a rainbow, and you have a little iridescent acrylic raindrop. So these are 12 in the store currently until they run out. Next up, I wanted to show you something we've had in the shop for a while, but these are a set of magnets. This one is knitting themed, but we also have Pride, we have Illinois, we have llamas as well, I think. So these are all recycled bottle caps, handmade. These ones are knitting themed. They are from Kate's Magnets, and these ones are 16 for the 6 set. And last but not least, recently got in, these are hand macrame keychains, but these are also really great bag pulls. So you can put the lobster clasp right there, the keychain clasp, right on your zipper of your bag. And we do carry 7 different colors of these, so you can coordinate these with your bags. I think these are amazing. These are $6. They are handmade, hand macrame cord, and yeah, so I just don't think these have gotten the love that they deserve. Check them out. We've got the full array of 7 colors from them. And yeah, so I thought these were really cool to help you. Sometimes it's hard to find, especially if there's no bag pull on there. But these are nice, cute little decorative bag pulls for your project bags. So those are all in the shop. I will also have those exact items linked in our show notes, found at dramaticknits.com. Next up, I wanted to show you a new sample. We've been getting some new samples in recently. This one's been up in the shop for 2 weeks maybe. This is going to be another kit coming eventually. I know I don't kit things up until they've kind of had their heyday. I don't jump on it when it's all coming out. I kind of like to see the reaction, get it done up, and then kit as I see needed. But this is the Painting Bricks Shawl by Stephen West, using 2 skeins of Leading Men Fiber Arts Showstopper in the industrial colorway. That's that bluey purple. And then we use the Cactus Gardens Lanterns Showstopper Gradient, which is 6 mini skeins. And then we added 2 mini skeins to that set, Moody Blue right there. and then Stop You're Making Me Blush, which is that pink right there. So you need a total of 8 mini skeins plus 2 full skeins to make this shawl. And I mean, come on. Does that not scream spring right there? And of course, he's been running with the painting everything and the honeycomb everything. So this one's up in the store. Again, we'll have different kits available for this in the future. If you are interested in getting a kit, we do have the patterns in the store. If you're interested in getting a kit for this, just put in a custom order for it on the website, and that'll push me to dye it up. Or if you need help selecting a kit, just shoot us an email. Let us know kind of what color, main color you would want, and then we, maybe an idea of kind of your contrasting colors, and we can go from there. But if you just tell me, put me together a kit, I'm going to ask you, I need somewhere to start. We have 235 plus colors. I need a place to start to help me narrow it down from my end. So that is our new sample for this episode, is the Painting Brick Shawl. Don't forget, we've got knit-alongs currently always going on in the Leading Men Fiber Arts Ravelry group. This month ends the SIP Hat knit-along. Tons of projects in there. We also have going the Kebab Hat and Mitts knit-along. You can do the hat, you can do the mitts, each get their own entry. You could do both and get 2 entries. You can knit multiples of each and get an entry for each. We do have kits ready for those, or I should say yarn sets ready for those. You do need to purchase the pattern separately for those, but those are available on our website. And then our newest knit-along is the Mystery Make-Along Spring 2020, or 2021, excuse me, by Carried from Fleece. And this has a knit and crochet version. All I can say is it is a stuffed toy, and it is utterly adorable. The yardage requirements are on the project pages. We do not have yarn sets because we don't want to take away from the mystery. I would say if you like green, go for green. But you can go any color you want. It'll make it fun. And yeah, so we hope you'll join us for that mystery make-along. We're super excited to have both a knit and crochet option for our crochet friends out there. And especially our locals are really crochet heavy here in town. So yeah. So those are our current make-alongs, and then upcoming shows. We are attending an actual festival at the end of this month on Saturday, April 24th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We will be at Fiberpalooza, which is hosted by Heartland Fiber Company in Winterset, Iowa. This will be at their middle school gym, and there's going to be a good deal of hand dyers as well as a few other artisans and makers there. So if you are in the Winterset, Iowa area, we hope you will wear a mask, come, sanitize. There will be sanitary stations all over the place. But we hope that you will come on out and visit us, and we'll all be socially distanced as much as we can, but enjoy some fiber time together. And we are excited to be vending at Fiberpalooza. So that is at the end of the month. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you this episode. I thought it would be quick, but again, I had a lot to show. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you are not already following Leading Men Fiber Arts on Facebook or Instagram or our Ravelry group, I would love if you would do so. You can also join the Dramatic Knits Ravelry group if you haven't done so, where you can find this episode as well as our show notes. You can also find the episode on YouTube, which I'd love if you would subscribe or give me the thumbs up, and as well as the blog, which is dramaticknits.com. So until I see you again, whenever that may be, I hope you make something dramatic.